My child, listen very carefully, because what I am about to tell you is not something that can wait for later, not something that can be postponed, not something that you can push aside and think, I will come back to this when I feel ready. I, the Lord your God, am telling you in this exact moment, hurry. This is your last chance to know the truth before it becomes too late. This is not said to frighten you, but to awaken you. Heaven has been watching what unfolded last night, and Archangel Michael himself is still in shock because out of everyone involved, out of every soul who felt the shift, the turbulence, the spiritual tremor that passed through the air, you are the only one who still doesn't know what truly happened. And you must know. You must hear it. You must understand why the heavens are moving so urgently around you, my child. The truth is not here to harm you. The truth is here to liberate you. You have been walking with a weight on your shoulders that I never intended for you to carry. You have been dealing with a confusion that was never supposed to be part of your destiny. That confusion is ending now, because I am pulling back the veil. I am opening the door. I am removing the shadows from the path so that you can see clearly again. What happened last night was not random. It was not a coincidence. It was not a mistake. It was a divine interruption, a heavenly intersection, a moment where timelines shifted and destinies that were meant to be hidden were suddenly exposed under the light of my presence. And though you did not see it with your physical eyes, your spirit felt the tremor. You felt something, even if you didn't understand it. That sensation you could not explain, that sudden heaviness, that sudden tug on your heart, that sudden rise of emotion for no reason, those were not accidents. That was heaven calling your attention. I know you felt a pressure in your spirit, almost like someone whispered your name but you didn't know who. I know you sensed a presence around you, but you brushed it off because your mind said, maybe I'm just imagining it. But you weren't imagining it. That was the moment Archangel Michael stood beside you, sword drawn, wings extended, guarding you from a situation that could have harmed you. He was not only protecting you from an external force, you were being protected from a spiritual intrusion that tried to enter your life without my permission. Last night, something approached your destiny, something that knew it was losing its grip over you, something that knew your breakthrough was coming closer than ever before, something that knew that if you found the truth, it would lose all power over your path. And because it knew it, it tried one last attempt. But heaven intervened. My child, you must understand, you are not walking through this life alone. Heaven watches you. Heaven guards you. Heaven stands beside you. When you feel weak, heaven stands strong. When you feel confused, heaven prepares clarity. When you feel like something is slipping away from your life, heaven is rearranging it for your protection. Last night was one of those moments where the divine shield around you activated itself, because the truth was about to be revealed, and something did not want you to know it. But now I am telling you directly, you must hear this truth today. This is your last chance before the window closes. I am not saying this to frighten you, I am saying it because your destiny requires your awareness. You are safe, you are protected, nothing will go wrong with you, but you must know the truth before the next step unfolds. Last night, while your physical body rested, your spirit was awake. Your spirit saw things you do not remember. Your spirit received information that your mind could not process immediately. And now I am bringing those pieces from the spiritual realm into your conscious understanding. Last night, someone thought about you intensely, more than intensely, they were consumed by thoughts of you. This person is connected to your destiny in a way you have not fully understood yet. This person carries emotions toward you that they have been hiding for a long time. There is something they have been unable to confess, something they have been unable to face within themselves. Last night, something happened that forced them to confront the truth they avoided for so long. And heaven saw it, Michael saw it, and now I need you to see it too, my child. The truth is that someone's heart broke open last night. Someone who thought they could suppress their feelings for you realized they cannot continue living in denial. Someone who tried to distance themselves emotionally discovered that destiny does not bend to human fear. Someone who pretended they didn't care about you was exposed to themselves, exposed in front of heaven, exposed before the angels. And what was revealed was not darkness. What was revealed was love. But this love is tangled with fear, confusion, and a past they never healed from. They are scared of losing you, scared of telling you the truth, scared of facing the consequences of honesty. And their fear last night created a ripple that reached heaven. Michael was stunned because he saw a soul on the edge of collapse. This person cried in a way they haven't cried in years. They felt a weight they could no longer hold. They felt a pain that came from not telling you something they should have told you long ago. And as they broke down, their soul sent out a call, an unspoken cry, a desperate plea. And that cry reached heaven. That cry reached the ears of the angels. That cry triggered a divine alert. What shocked the angels was not the pain itself, it was the realization that you, the one this person is hurting over, still have no idea what is happening behind the scenes. You still don't know what was said about you. You still don't know who tried to mislead you. You still don't know who stepped in to stop something from going wrong. You still don't know how close you came to misunderstanding something that could have led to emotional damage. Heaven had to intervene because you were not meant to suffer from someone else's confusion. Last night, someone tried to reveal a truth to you, but they hesitated. They wanted to reach out, but fear gripped them. They picked up their phone, they typed, they deleted, they typed again, they cried, they stopped, they prayed, they fell apart. Their emotions were raw, unfiltered, overwhelming. Heaven recorded every moment of it. The angels witnessed every tremor in their spirit. And I, the Lord, saw every detail. My child, I am telling you now because I do not want you to walk blindly while something important is unfolding. The truth is that this person is preparing to come forward. They are preparing to speak. They are preparing to reveal something they kept hidden from you. And heaven is urging you to be ready. Heaven is urging you not to close your heart. Heaven is urging you not to judge quickly, not to react with anger, not to jump to conclusions. What they have to say is important, more important than you realize. And last night was the turning point in their soul, but there is more you must know. Someone else, another person, was watching all of this unfold. Someone who does not want you to receive this truth. Someone who benefits from your confusion. Someone who has been hiding something from you. Someone who tried to influence a situation in a way that would work against you. Heaven saw that too. There was a spiritual confrontation last night between truth and deception, between clarity and confusion, between divine revelation and hidden motives. And heaven won. But you still need to know what was being hidden, my child. Someone has been speaking your name in ways that were not pure. Someone has been trying to divert your destiny by creating misunderstandings. Someone fears your rise. Someone fears the blessing coming your way. Someone fears the connection you have with the person who cried for you last night. And last night, their intentions were exposed. Their plans were revealed. Their motives became visible in the light of heaven. And Archangel Michael confronted what needed to be confronted to protect you. You may have felt restless last night. You may have suddenly awakened for no reason. You may have felt pressure on your chest, a heaviness, an emotion rising without explanation. That was your spirit reacting to what was happening around you. That was your soul sensing a shift. That was the divine energy moving through your environment. Heaven was rearranging things. Heaven was repositioning you. Heaven was clearing a blockage. Heaven was exposing something that could no longer remain hidden. You are safe, my child. You are protected. Nothing will go wrong with you. You do not need to fear. You do not need to panic. What I am revealing to you is for your clarity, not your fear. I want you to know that you are cherished. You are guided. You are watched over. And the angels are not shocked because something bad happened. They are shocked because a truth that has been hidden for too long is finally coming to the surface, and they cannot believe that you still don't know it. The truth concerns your heart. The truth concerns someone who loves you deeply. The truth concerns a connection that heaven has not allowed to break. The truth concerns words that were spoken about you in darkness that are now being exposed to the light. The truth concerns a destiny that is larger than you realize. And last night marked the moment when everything began shifting into alignment. You must prepare yourself emotionally and spiritually, because the revelation will reach you soon. It will arrive in a way you least expect. It will come through a message, a conversation, a sign, a sudden intuition, or a moment where someone finally gathers the courage to speak honestly. And when it comes, heaven wants you to remember this message: do not be afraid. Do not react from impulse. Do not let past hurts cloud your judgment. Listen. Understand. Feel the truth. Your heart will know what is real. Your spirit will recognize what comes from me. I have protected you from deception. I have shielded you from hidden intentions. I have separated you from paths that were not meant for you. I have blocked situations that would have harmed your peace. And last night, I stepped in once more, not because you were in danger, but because someone else's emotional storm was about to spill into your life, and I wanted to prepare the ground for clarity instead of confusion. The truth is that this person has been fighting an internal battle. They have been carrying guilt, fear, longing, and unresolved emotions that have been weighing on their soul. They tried to move on, but they couldn't. They tried to let go, but they couldn't. They tried to pretend they didn't care, but they couldn't. And last night, something reminded them of you so intensely that they broke down. Every wall they built collapsed. Every denial crumbled. Every emotion they hid surfaced. They saw you in their mind. They remembered moments with you. They felt the loss of not speaking their truth. And heaven witnessed it all, but heaven also witnessed something else: your strength, your innocence, your patience, your loyalty, your sincerity. You have been walking with a pure heart even when others did not appreciate it. And now you are being elevated because of it, my child. The last chance I speak of is not punishment. It is opportunity. It is awareness. It is alignment. It is a moment where I need your heart fully open so that you do not misinterpret what is coming. If you miss this clarity, confusion could fill the space. If you ignore this message, you may misread someone's intentions. But if you listen now, if you receive this truth, then the blessing ahead will unfold smoothly, beautifully, divinely. You are not in danger. You are not at risk. Nothing bad will happen to you. I am with you. I am guarding you. I am guiding you. But I need you to be aware, the whole truth will reach you soon. And when it does, you will realize why heaven moved so urgently last night. You will realize why Michael stood by your side. You will realize why your spirit felt that unexplained pull. You will realize why your destiny needed this moment. You are safe. You are protected. Trust me. Pray to me. Stay close to me. I am leading you toward a revelation that will not hurt you, but heal you. Now, my child, breathe. Receive this message. Let your heart be still. You are on the edge of clarity. And nothing will go wrong with you, because I am with you. Always, God says this is the moment you cannot delay, the moment that was written across the skies long before you ever took your first breath. The moment heaven has whispered about for days, waiting for you to finally open your eyes and see what truly happened last night. God says, my child, hurry, this is your last chance to know the truth before it becomes too heavy to reveal. Archangels stood in absolute shock because only you still didn't know what occurred. Heaven trembled, not because something terrible is coming for you, but because something unbelievable was happening around you without your awareness. God says you must hear this now, because every second that passes carries a weight, a meaning, a divine push that brings you closer to a revelation that was meant only for you. God is telling you gently but firmly that nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe, you are protected, and what you are about to learn will not harm you but will set you free. You only need to trust Him and breathe into His presence as He unfolds what happened last night, what was whispered in the corridors of the unseen world, and what heaven has been trying to alert you about. Last night, something broke open spiritually around you. A truth that had been blocked, hidden, or delayed finally moved into motion. Angels were positioned in places you didn't see, guarding you from shadows you never knew existed. A conversation took place in the spiritual realm, a conversation that had your name written in radiant letters of light. Archangel Michael leaned forward, watching the thread of events unfolding, and the other archangels could not believe how silently everything happened around you. They watched someone speak your name with intentions that shook the spiritual atmosphere, and yet you slept, unaware, peaceful, untouched by the storm that tried to brew without God's permission. God says He shielded you long before the enemy even tried to approach. He ensured that not even one fraction of harm could come near your spirit, your mind, your body, or your destiny. But what shocked heaven was not the danger, because God destroyed it instantly. What shocked heaven was the truth that was revealed about a person connected to you, someone you never expected to be part of such a moment. Someone did something last night, something that heaven had to witness, something that caused an archangel to look at God as if asking permission to intervene immediately. And God did intervene. He stepped in before anything could affect you. But He says now is the moment you need to know the truth so that you do not walk forward blind to the reality that was exposed. God says that someone spoke your name with both desire and fear last night. Someone confessed something under pressure, something that has been hidden from you for a very long time. Their heart was overwhelmed, shaken, and although they didn't say the words directly to you, the confession still reached heaven because heaven hears everything spoken behind closed doors. The truth was emotionally heavy, and even the angels questioned how much longer you should remain unaware. That is why God says this is your last chance, because He does not want you to continue walking with unanswered questions in your spirit. Something big shifted last night, and God doesn't want you to miss the meaning. There is a person you have cared for or trusted, someone whose presence in your life has been woven into your emotional path for longer than you realize. This person has been hiding a truth that was too difficult for them to say out loud. They were torn between protecting themselves and protecting you, between revealing everything and keeping silent to avoid consequences. The weight of what they knew was becoming unbearable for them. Last night, they reached a breaking point, a moment of surrender, a moment where their spirit cried out because they could not hold the secret anymore. Heaven listened. Archangel Michael listened. God listened. What they heard was not a confession meant for you yet, because the person feared your reaction, feared your tears, feared the change it would bring to your life. But the confession still carried your name, and heaven recorded every word. God says the truth concerns something that affected your life months ago, maybe even years ago. Something you felt but could never prove. Something that made your heart uneasy at times. But you brushed it away because you wanted to believe the best. You wanted peace rather than suspicion. You wanted love rather than doubt. But last night, the truth cracked open. The person who kept this truth hidden was spiritually cornered, emotionally overwhelmed, and their heart spilled into the air like a shaken cup. Even though it wasn't spoken directly to you, your soul deserves to know what heaven witnessed. God says, nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe, my child. What you are about to understand will not break you. It will break the chains that were placed on your destiny by the silence of someone else. God wants you to hear this in peace, not fear. He wants you to breathe and allow Him to guide you through every word that follows. The confession last night had to do with a moment where someone made a decision about you, a decision you were never told about. They chose something for you without giving you the chance to choose for yourself. They blocked an opportunity, withheld information, or stepped into your path in a way that changed your direction without your knowledge. And yet, even though their decision altered something temporarily, God never let it remove your blessing. Heaven has been waiting for the right time to let you know, and that time is now. If this truth is not revealed today, it will become harder to address later. If you don't know it now, you may misunderstand upcoming blessings or unexpected movements in your life. God wants clarity to be your shield, not confusion. God says your name was spoken with trembling lips last night. Someone cried because they realized the truth would eventually come out, and they don't know how you will react when it reaches you. The angels saw this emotional breakdown, and they looked to God for direction. God reserved this explanation for today because your energy, your mindset, your spiritual readiness has aligned perfectly to handle this revelation. You are strong enough. You are protected enough. You are guided enough. And you are loved enough, someone last night admitted, perhaps not out loud, but in their spirit, that they wronged you unknowingly or knowingly. They realized the weight of their actions. Heaven doesn't judge them in front of you, but God wants you to know because He needs you to walk into your next season without blind spots. The truth is that this person has been carrying guilt for longer than you knew. They wanted to tell you. They intended to tell you. But fear of losing you or fear of your reaction stopped them. Last night, they could no longer hide from themselves, and heaven heard the confession even if you did not. God says He is revealing this not to hurt you, but to lift you. To free you. To show you how far you've come and how deeply you are protected. He wants you to understand, my beloved child, breathe for a moment and feel the weight of this moment settling around you. Because what you are about to hear is not ordinary, not casual, not something meant to be taken lightly or postponed for later. God is speaking into your life with an urgency that heaven rarely releases, and Archangel Michael, who has watched over you since the beginning, is standing closer than he has in a very long time. Heaven has been shaken, not because you have done something wrong, but because something happened last night, something that involves your destiny, your future, your protection, your blessing, and your name, and you are the only one who still doesn't know what truly unfolded. God says this is your last chance to know the truth before it's too late, and heaven needs you to receive every word with an open heart. A clear mind, and a spirit that refuses to fear. God says you are safe, nothing will go wrong with you, and no matter how dramatic the urgency sounds, it is all meant to guide you, not frighten you. Heaven does not send danger, heaven sends warning, protection, comfort, and truth. And right now, the truth is what God is placing at your feet, telling you to lift your eyes, open your heart, and finally see what has been hidden behind the curtain of silence, confusion, and mystery. Last night, something moved in the spiritual realm. Something that involved your name being spoken, your destiny being discussed, your path being illuminated, and a decision being made on your behalf. It was not an attack, not a loss, not anything meant to destroy you. Instead, it was a divine intervention designed to shift the energy around you, separate you from what has been draining you, and place you into alignment with what has been waiting for you. Heaven watched, the angels formed a circle, and Archangel Michael stood at the center, his sword lowered but glowing, not in anger, not in disappointment, but in fierce protection for the one who still does not fully realize how precious you are. God says that last night, a truth was revealed in the spiritual realm. A truth that has been trying to reach you for weeks, maybe months. A truth about someone connected to you, someone whose intentions were not as pure as they appeared to be. Someone who has been trying to keep you in the dark while pretending to care about you. And heaven decided that the time for pretending is over. The time for illusions is over. The time for ignorance is over. This is your moment to finally see everything clearly, without fog, without confusion, without emotional blindness. But before God reveals this truth, He wants to remind you of something important. You are divinely protected. Nothing will harm you. No revelation will break you. No truth will be too heavy to carry. God says you are safe, and you must trust that safety as you listen to what heaven is unveiling. Archangel Michael stands by your side, placing his wings around you, whispering that everything will be all right, that nothing meant for your harm will touch you, that whatever was done in darkness is about to lose its power over you forever. God says the reason this message is urgent, the reason heaven is asking you to hurry, the reason this is your last chance to know the truth before it's too late, is because timing matters in the spiritual world more than you realize. When God reveals something, He reveals it at the exact moment you are meant to receive it. If you delay, you may miss the alignment that is unfolding right now. The blessing that is coming toward you is not small, it is not ordinary. It is something that requires your attention, your awareness, and your readiness. And if you do not know the truth, you will not step into the blessing fully. Last night, while you rested, while the world slept, heaven was awake on your behalf. The angels watched something begin to shift around you, an energy, a decision, a path, a breakthrough. Someone connected to you had a moment of clarity, and heaven witnessed the ripple effect of what that clarity will lead to. Someone who has been silently carrying thoughts about you, whether positive or negative, made a choice. And that choice is what God wants you to understand right now. God says there are two parts to what happened last night. One part involves you. The other part involves someone whose energy has been affecting you without your awareness. And heaven is ready to reveal both. First, God says that last night, your name was lifted higher in the spiritual realm. Your destiny was reaffirmed. A path that had been blocked for a long time finally opened. A door that refused to move finally unlocked. A blessing that had been delayed, not denied, but delayed, finally began its journey toward you. And Archangel Michael was the one who pushed it forward. He saw something that heaven had been waiting for, your readiness. Even though you may not feel ready, even though you may feel tired, uncertain, confused, or overwhelmed, heaven sees your spirit. Heaven sees your endurance, your heart, your patience, your quiet battles, your silent faith. God says you are more ready than you think, more prepared than you feel, and more anointed than you realize. But the second part of what happened last night is what shocked the archangels. It involves someone whose energy was tied to you, someone who was connected to your path in a way you did not fully understand. This person did something last night, not toward you, not against you, but in their own life, that created a shift that heaven could no longer ignore. This shift revealed their intentions, their truth, their emotions, their fears, or their secrets. And for the first time, the spiritual realm saw clearly what this person truly carries inside their heart. God says this is the part you must know before it's too late. Because it affects the blessings coming your way. This person has been pulling on your energy, sometimes without meaning to, sometimes without knowing it. Their thoughts, their emotions, their decisions have been touching your life like a quiet shadow. Not to harm you, but to confuse you, slow you down, or create emotional fog around you. Heaven stepped in last night because the truth could no longer be hidden. This person is struggling. They are confused about you. They are unsure whether they should step toward you or step away. They have been holding on to feelings they don't know how to express. They have been hiding something, fear, insecurity, guilt, emotions, or intentions, and heaven realized that this silence was affecting your destiny. God says that last night, their hidden thoughts were exposed in the spiritual realm. The angels saw their heart. And Archangel Michael realized that if you continued walking without knowing the truth, you would be carrying weight that does not belong to you. You would be tied to emotions that are not yours. You would be trying to understand someone who does not yet understand themselves. And heaven decided it was time to free you from that emotional burden, not by removing the person. Not by punishing them. Not by destroying the connection. But by revealing the truth so you can walk forward with clarity, strength, and peace. God says this person cares for you more deeply than they admit. But they are not ready for the blessing you are stepping into. They are standing at a crossroads, but you are not meant to stand there with them. You are meant to move forward, to rise, to grow, to transform, to receive what heaven is preparing for you. Their journey is their own, and while their heart may be connected to you, their path is not aligned with your next chapter yet. God says last night, the angels saw that if you continued waiting for them, you would delay your own blessing. You would postpone what belongs to you. You would slow down your destiny. And heaven refuses to let that happen. You are too important. You are too chosen. You are too divinely protected. Your blessing is too close. Your breakthrough too near. This is why Archangel Michael was shocked, not because of danger, not because of harm, but because heaven realized you still didn't know the truth. You were still holding on to hope without clarity, carrying emotional weight that wasn't yours, waiting for something that was never meant to stop your blessings. And heaven decided that this was the moment to intervene. God says the truth you needed to know is simple. What happened last night set you free. Free from confusion. Free from emotional uncertainty. Free from waiting on anyone. Free from allowing someone else's internal battle to shape your destiny. God says your path is now clear. Your energy is now protected. Your blessing is now unlocked. Your future is now aligned. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are guided. You are covered. You are chosen. And you are stepping into a chapter that will feel like fresh light pouring into a room that has been dim for too long. God says trust Him now. Do not let fear enter your heart. Do not overthink what heaven has already handled. Do not look back with doubt. Do not wait for anyone to catch up. Walk forward. Pray. Trust. Receive. This is your moment. Your truth. Your awakening. Your shift. Heaven has spoken. God is with you. You are safe. And everything is about to change for the better. God says this directly to your spirit right now. And the reason you are reading this at this exact moment is because heaven has arranged it with perfect precision. God says, hurry. This is your last chance to know the truth before it's too late. The air around you is shifting, the energy around your life is rising, and heaven is watching you with a kind of divine anticipation, because the truth that was hidden from you last night is bigger than anything you ever imagined. God says, my child, I know your heart. I know your pain. I know your confusion. And I know what you didn't see last night. Even the archangels are shocked that you are still unaware of what unfolded behind your back, in the dark, when your name was spoken, when your destiny was discussed. When your life was mentioned in a room where you were not even present. I am revealing this to you because you deserve to know, and because this is your final moment before a cycle closes forever. God is whispering into your soul that last night something shifted, something powerful, something unexpected, something that even heaven watched with urgency. You may have felt a heaviness in your sleep, or maybe you woke up suddenly without knowing why, or maybe your dreams felt unusually vivid or intense. That was not random. That was divine intervention brushing against your spirit, trying to alert you that something was happening. God says, "I saw everything last night. I heard everything. I was there when they spoke. I was there when they thought they were hidden. I was there when they mentioned your name. And I will not let you remain in the dark, because darkness has no power over the child I have chosen." Archangel Michael stands beside you right now with a powerful, unshakable urgency. He is not angry with you, but he is concerned, deeply concerned, because heaven expected you to sense what happened, but you couldn't feel it fully. That is why Michael is standing guard, watching you, urging you, pushing this message toward you right now so you don't miss the truth. Michael says, you cannot delay. You cannot ignore. You cannot pretend you didn't feel the energy shift last night. Something was revealed, something was exposed, and heaven wants you to know the truth before it's too late. But even in his urgency, he is protecting you. He is reassuring you silently, wrapping your soul with safety, because nothing will go wrong with you. You are shielded. You are safe. You are covered by heaven's hand. God says, "My child, last night a conversation happened about you that will change everything." Heaven heard it. Heaven observed it. And heaven has decided to intervene on your behalf. Someone mentioned your name with a mixture of fear and regret. Someone confessed something without realizing the spiritual consequences it would create. Someone brought up something connected to your destiny, your blessings, your path, and they did not realize heaven was listening. What was said last night opened a spiritual door that cannot be closed again, and you are meant to know what it means. God says, you were not forgotten in that moment. You were not overlooked. You were not powerless. I was there. I saw the truth. And I am revealing it to you because you deserve clarity, protection, and peace. The reason this message is reaching you urgently is because timing matters. Divine timing is everything, and heaven has chosen this exact moment because your spirit is open, your heart is ready, and your destiny is shifting rapidly. God says, this is your last chance to understand the truth before a new chapter begins. If you ignore this message, you may miss the sign I placed before you. If you listen, you will walk into a miracle that has already been written for you. Heaven is not asking you to fear. Heaven is not warning you of danger. Heaven is guiding you to awareness, to understanding, to truth, because you deserve to walk with your eyes open, not closed. You deserve to step forward knowing exactly what heaven is aligning for you. God says that last night, someone realized something powerful about you, something they can no longer hide. It may have been a confession whispered in regret. It may have been the truth slipping out of someone who never planned to reveal it. It may have been a realization someone had about your worth, your importance, your destiny, and they spoke your name with trembling because they finally understood what you truly carry spiritually. God says, "They did not know I was listening. They did not know I would bring the truth to you. They did not know I would expose what they attempted to keep hidden. But I will always reveal what concerns your life, because you are my child, and my children do not walk in deception." Archangel Michael is watching you with a fierce protective light, the kind that cuts through every lie, every secret, every hidden action done behind your back. Michael is urging you to open your heart fully because what you are about to learn will free you. It will not harm you. It will not frighten you. It will liberate you from confusion. Michael stands with his wings open, creating a shield around your spirit. He says, "You are safe. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are protected. But you must listen. You must allow heaven to guide you. Do not turn away from this message." God says that last night, someone made a choice connected to your life. They made a decision, and heaven evaluated it. Whether it was someone who cares for you, someone who once hurt you, someone who carries feelings for you, or someone whose actions have affected your path, something shifted in their heart last night. A truth was awakened. A realization surfaced. And heaven is now preparing to reveal that shift to you. God says, "This truth is meant for you, and only you. No one else is supposed to see this message. I led it directly to you because the revelation concerns your soul, your future, and your next step. This message is not to create fear. It is to prepare you. You may have sensed something off lately. You may have felt energy changing around you. You may have felt a pull, an emotional heaviness, or even sudden waves of intuition that didn't fully make sense. God says those feelings were not signs of danger but indicators of spiritual activity happening around your destiny. Heaven has been aligning things behind the scenes. Your path has been watched, your steps monitored with love. And the truth that emerged last night was part of a divine plan being set into motion. God says, "My child, you must trust me. Even when you cannot see everything, I see it. Even when you do not understand, I understand. Even when others try to hide things, I reveal them at the right time. Nothing escapes my sight." Heaven wants you to rest in the truth that you are safe. Nothing will go wrong with you because you are under God's protection. Your journey may have been filled with uncertainty at times, but you have never been unprotected. You have never been alone, not even for a single second, is happening exactly